we are riding along on the Revr V5, and unfortunately I think this bike is going to have a massive deal breaker for a lot of people, and it is really a shame because this is a very well built bike with a lot of premium parts, and in my opinion it's the best looking e-bike I've ever reviewed. Let's get into the build quality and the looks of it now. Alright, here is the Revr V5, and as you can see this is a really great looking bike. And I got really excited as I was putting this bike together because there are a lot of premium components on this bike and there's a lot to get excited about. Let's go through the features that this bike has. And first off, one of the other reasons I got really excited about this bike is because it uses this display screen here, which is used by King Bull bikes, which this is a really good looking display and I really like this a lot. Controls the same as what we see on King Bull bikes. Very comfortable, very easy, and I mean, I just want to take a second to really admire what the bike looks like. I love the brown accents that we get with the seat and handlebars. I love this like midnight metallic blue. Like, I got to looking at this bike and I kind of want a Triumph motorcycle in this color scheme. A midnight blue, metallic midnight blue tank with a brown seat would look really cool on a motorcycle. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. We've got Kenda tires, metal pedals, dual ring chain guard, rear passenger pegs back here, 20 amp hour battery. Everything about the bike is just put together really well. I mean, look at this headlight here. Zoom branded hydraulic disc brakes, dual adjustable shock. Every time I think I'm done talking about the bike, I blink and I see more and more quality features about the bike. You know, as I said, I look and see more and more features that I like about the bike every time I blink, it feels like. We've got this big open empty area here, and we've got a 20 amp hour battery, but we've got a spot here where we could put another battery in there if you wanted to get even more range out of this bike. And it would be pretty easy to mount that in there and wire it up. But let's get back to the ride. Alright, now with that being said, let's talk about the massive limitation that this bike has that I was talking about earlier, and that is its performance. This thing has a top speed of 20 miles per hour. It is a Class 2 e-bike. And I'm going to open up the settings here and show you exactly what I'm dealing with. P08 is set at 100, so it should be unlocked, and there are no other locks that I'm aware of that I need to unlock. And I actually confirmed it with Revr, with my contact at Revr, back and forth through email, that this bike's controller does indeed limit its top speed to 20 miles per hour. Their website says that it can get up to 28, but I think that's a miscommunication or a typo or just a flat-out lie. But unfortunately, the bike does not exceed 20 miles per hour. Hello. So right here, this is it. It hits 20 and then you can feel the motor back off. It's got more power, so if it had a better controller, it could actually exceed that 20 miles per hour, but with what the bike has, it's just not going to do it. Let's do a hill climb test here because it's got some decent torque and peppy takeoff. I'm in pedal assist level 5, me not pedaling, just climbing right up the hill. And yeah, right up the hill, no problem. So with the bike being limited to 20 miles per hour and having a 20 amp hour battery, it will go a really long distance with a battery charge. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm at 28 miles on my trip, and that's under one charge and riding it at full speed, throttle peg the entire time. It's going to drop a little bit as I climb this hill, but yeah, the upside of that is that this bike does have some massive range, and To me, that's more important than top speed, but you're going to need top speed if you want to ride something like this in town on roads. I don't think 20 miles per hour is quite fast enough to negotiate with city traffic. So this is a pretty short review. I'll go up through the pedal assist levels up here when I get in a straightaway. They're really nothing to write home about, but I guess it's nice that you can go down into lower pedal assist levels and go down to those lower speeds when you do need to deal with pedestrians. Bike rides nice. It's very comfortable. It's got some good braking power. It's just an overall joy to ride. Unfortunately, it's just not a powerhouse. And I say it's not a powerhouse. It's got decent torque and decent takeoff. It just doesn't have any real top speed, and it's because there's something governing it in the controller. And I did confirm with Revr that it is indeed locked to 20 miles per hour, and there's no way to unlock it. But anyway, let's go through the pedal assist levels here. And it being a moped bike, I can't get a decent pedal stroke, so this is all just going to be throttle only. But pedal assist level 1 takes us up to about 4.5 miles per hour. Level 2 jumps us up to 7.5. Level 3, about 11.5. Level 4, 15.5. And level 5, up to, it's going to be like 19.5, and then you feel it back off. But yep, that's it. That's what the bike can do. Not really a whole lot else to talk about with the bike, so I guess I'm going to go over and do a little bit of off-roading over here, and then I'm going to wrap up the video. This is a kind of steep hill here. I'm going to get a run at it and see if I can rip up this hill. Yeah, the bike's got power, so why it's limited to 20 miles per hour, your guess is as good as mine. But do a little bit of gravel riding here, and this bike is really fun to ride on gravel. Maybe this is what it was kind of made for, because I really wouldn't want to take it much faster than 20 miles per hour on gravel, but it does really well out here. It kind of rides, it's got that 70s dirt bike look, and it kind of rides like a 70s dirt bike too. Riding it out here on this gravel is kind of the most fun I've had on it. So supposedly Revr is coming out with the V5 version 2, which is going to address the speed issues, but I'm not reviewing that bike right now. I'm reviewing this one, so I really can't speak to what the upgraded version will do. Now, knowing that there's an upgraded version coming out, would I buy this one over the upgrade? I would probably hold out for the upgrade if this is what you're going to be into, but I would definitely not buy the upgrade until I see a review for that bike. Like I said, this is a very well built bike, and if the upgrade has the same kind of build quality that this one has, but better performance, then that is going to be a very good bike. Who is this bike for? Well, I would say that anybody who is looking for, whoa! I would say anybody who's looking for some premium quality parts on a bike, and a very good looking bike that is built well but doesn't really need a higher speed than 20 miles per hour, then they're going to have a good time on this bike, and they're going to get good value for their money. I think this bike actually is worth it. You just got to keep its limitation in mind. So people who do like casual trail riding, people who, you know, want to do some like gravel riding like this bike is really good on this gravel trail here. And I would say that anybody who is looking to get a bike for like a kid that they want to make sure they're not going to go too fast and get in any kind of trouble, but still want to have a cool looking bike to give them. I think most kids who have never had any other e-bike are going to be really happy with this thing, because yeah, it's cool looking and it feels like a little motorcycle. And if you want to give your kid an e-bike and not worry that they're going to get in too much trouble, this might be the bike for them. Who is this bike not for? Well, I'm going to say most people. It's a very niche bike, and with it being a moped style bike, if you're of a certain height or taller, you can't get a decent pedal stroke. You know, if you're looking for real fast performance, this is not going to be it. And it is definitely not a city commuter. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, here's our final range wrap up. I weigh 200 pounds, the bike weighs 87 pounds. I've ridden it pretty much full throttle in pedal assist level 5, basically the entire time I've been riding it. I didn't do this all in one ride. This is busted up over 3 different rides, but I got 32 miles, and that's on 1 battery charge, and I've dropped down to 1 bar out of 5. So I would say that if I keep riding it, I'm going to get probably another 5 to 8 miles before the bike dies, but this is the place where I would feel most comfortable taking it home and charging it back up. So I would say about 30 to 35 miles is what you could expect on a normal ride.